Hello there everybody and welcome back to Movie Squirm. Today I'm going to be doing my worst ever horror movie quotes. Now I have just done my top 10 best horror movie quotes, so if you want to see that video, I'll leave it in the link down below along with many other top 10s. But this is the worst now, and I had a lot of fun making this list. Now some of you may not consider these the worst, but for whatever reason, I just find them cringy or a terrible piece of writing. You know how these videos work now. It's just a personal list. So if your favourite worst quotes aren't in the list or you disagree with mine, it's just my list. You know, it's a personal list right there. So I did have one honourable mention, and I didn't know whether to put this in the list or just give it this honourable mention because is it a worst movie line or a legendary movie line? And that is Garbage Day, of course, from Silent Night, Deadly Night 2. So that isn't going to be in the top 10. But I just want to give it an honourable mention right there.
Garbage Day! Huh? No!
But yeah, let's just get into it now, guys. Number 10 on the list, and it will be in order from what I think is the least worst to the worst. So let's get into it. Number 10 is going to be Alien Romulus, and this is a line that a lot of people complained about when this movie released on the cinemas and said it actually ruined the movie to them. I know my brother-in-law said the exact same thing. It just took him out the whole experience. Now, I'm not quite there with that. I absolutely love this film, but I did hate this piece of dialogue, and it is when Andy, the synthetic, who is rescuing Rain from some of the xenomorphs right there, and he says, "Get away from here." And I was like in the cinema, oh yeah, that's an awesome little throwback, but he's not going to say it, is he? Surely. And to repeat what Ellen Ripley said in the movie Aliens, he says, "You bitch," after he takes the xenomorph out. And a lot of people in my cinema were laughing and cheering. And I did laugh, and then I just thought, no, it should have just been, "Get away from here." Us diehard Alien fans would know what he was talking about. And it just makes the line a little bit weird as well, because Andy as a synthetic saying that, I don't know, it just didn't fit. And now the fact that he has said it before Ellen Ripley, because this is a prequel to Aliens, yeah, it's not going to take anything away from the line in Aliens, but I've heard a few people say that it just doesn't feel real now when Ellen Ripley says it because he actually said it first. But yeah, I give it a pass a little bit because I love this movie. I went to see it twice at the cinema. But this line, yeah, I don't know what the producers and the director was thinking there.
Get away from her. You bitch.
Next up is going to be from Halloween 2018. Now, this is a movie full of terrible dialogue. We've got police officers talking about peanut butter and jelly sandwiches that just don't make any sense to the plot. It doesn't take any of the plot forward whatsoever. It's just a stupid little silly comedic written conversation. And then we've got Laurie Strode's daughter there going around saying to her mother that life isn't so bad. It's full of roses and pretty little flowers and life is beautiful. And it's like, but this one line did actually just make me cringe so bad. And I must admit, I did laugh at it in the cinema at the time, but straight away I just said, hang on, that doesn't make sense. And now every time I watch this movie, I just think, yeah, that line is awful. And that is the peanut butter on my penis quote. Yes, from Jamie Lee Curtis's, Laurie Strode's daughter's husband there. He's like a comedic relief character in the movie, and I don't quite remember what he's doing in the house, but I'm sure he's like setting mouse traps with peanut butter on. But how did he get it on his penis? I mean, is he like walking around the house doing this with no pants on while his daughter's sitting in the living room and stuff? It's just a stupid line of dialogue that doesn't make sense to me. And it, apart from the very first moment I heard it, isn't funny at all. So yeah, I don't know what they were thinking with this piece of dialogue either.
Oh man, I got peanut butter on my penis.
Number 8 is going to be from a movie I haven't actually watched all the way through, and that is Don't Go Into the Woods Alone. This is a Video Nasty Section 1, believe it or not. I couldn't get into this film when I kind of watched it back in the day as a teenager. I am going to go back one day and rewatch the full film though, because I just didn't have the patience back then. I never turn movies off these days, but back then I did now and again. But after about 30 minutes, I remember turning this movie off because it was just so awful. But there is one line of dialogue at the start of this film where I was just like, who came up with this? Now, this is like a tour guide who is showing these characters around the woods and showing them the dangers of what they can and can't do. And this guy jumps off a log, which is only about 2 foot up in the air or something, and lands perfectly safe. And the tour guide says, "Peter, that might have been a fatal mistake, jumping off that log." And I think he was going to say, like, "Oh, you could have hurt your ankle or anything." But no, he says, "There may have been a snake under there." I was like, what? There could be a snake anywhere in these woods, man. Fucking hell. Why is it going to be under that log? That guy's voice is just so annoying as well. It's just like a very laughable scene. Hence part of the reason why I turned this movie off. So yeah, that is number 8.
That could have been a fatal mistake, jumping off a log. There might have been a snake under there.
Number 7 is going to be from Halloween Resurrection. Now, in my top 10 movie quotes, I tried to keep it to one per franchise, but I just kind of couldn't help myself here. And this is, of course, from Busta Rhymes. Now, he is terrible in this film. He's actually so bad he's good. I mean, you can laugh at him here and there and have some fun with this character, but it does make a mockery of the Halloween franchise. And this movie is my second to least favorite in the entire series, because part 5 just has to be the bottom there, the most boring film. But this one, Michael Myers in the Big Brother house, I mean, that's just a bad concept overall, isn't it? But Busta Rhymes is doing all sorts of kung fu kicks in this movie and saying, "Happy Halloween, motherfucker," to Michael Myers. But it's not even that line of dialogue. There is a moment where Michael Myers has been burnt and he's getting carried out on a stretcher by the ambulance, the paramedics, and he's basically meant to be dead. And Busta Rhymes comes up to him and goes, "Looking a little crispy there, Mikey. Like some crispy fried chicken, motherfucker." Yeah, I mean, fucking hell, man. Talk about bad movie lines in the Halloween franchise. This is right up there. So, yeah, Busta Rhymes, just please don't put him in another Halloween movie again. Thank you. One is enough.
Looking a little crispy over there, Mikey. Like some chicken fried, motherfucker.
Number 6 is going to be from Troll 2, a movie full of absolutely horrendous dialogue with terrible acting, which just makes the dialogue even worse. And I could have picked a bunch of, I could have done the top 10 worst lines in Troll 2, just, as one video. There's so many bad ones in this movie. And a lot of people may think this is going to be, don't piss on hospitality, or, they're in it and then they're gonna eat me, oh my god. But no, this line is just so weird to me, where Joshua has just pissed on all the food, and he does say, you can't piss on hospitality, but just after that, he throws Joshua on the bed, and, the father starts loosening his belt there. Well, it looks like he's loosening his belt, but he's actually tightening his belt. At the time, I thought, wow, is he gonna really abuse his kid here and, start whipping him with the belt or something as a punishment? What the hell is going on? And Joshua goes, "What are you going to do to me, Daddy?" So at this point, I'm thinking, oh, he is going to whip him with the belt. But no, he just says, "I'm tightening my belt so I don't get hunger pains." Oh, man. I mean, you can't go one night without some food. I'm sure there's a store down the road, or you didn't bring any food with you at all. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have had that food anyway. It's full of fucking green gunk. Which is another thing about this movie. Characters will willingly just eat sandwiches with all green gunk coming off. Yeah. But man, Troll 2 it's so bad, it's a good movie. I highly recommend it if you haven't seen it, if you just want to have a laugh with some friends. But this line, man, it's just like, what the fuck is going through the writer's head in this movie? Yeah, that is number 6, Troll 2.
"Tightening my belt by one loop so I don't feel hunger pains, and your sister and mother will have to do likewise."
Number 5 is going to be from Friday the 13th, part 4, the final chapter, or just the final chapter if you like. I know there's no part 4 there. But this is Crispin Glover's character. I forgot the guy's name. I'm really sorry. I've seen the movie about 3 times in the past year. But I'm really sorry I forgot the guy's name. But he is terrible in this movie. He is one of the worst Friday the 13th characters you'll ever see. A lot of people may disagree with that, but that dance scene that he does is just absolutely hilarious. But I'm watching it going, what the fuck is this guy doing? He's just such a loser in the movie. He's always down. He's always feeling like he's unfairly done to. And this guy just keeps saying, look, you're such a dead fuck, man. And he thinks that like that means he is bad in bed because his girlfriend's just left him and everything. And at one moment in this movie, later on, he sleeps with one of these twins. And afterwards, like he's been referenced so many times, like, I'm not a dead fuck. Don't be calling me a dead fuck. And after he slept with this girl in the bed, he turned to her and says, can I ask you something? And I'm just like, oh no, don't ask her if you were a dead fuck. And he goes, am I a dead fuck? I'm just like, oh my God. If this guy couldn't get any more cringer, he has now. How has he landed this chick in the bed? I will never know. But I just, every time he asked that, I just burst out laughing with cringe. I was like, do not ask her that. You... Yeah, Crispin Glover is terrible in this movie, man. And he will be iconic forever because he is that bad, but this line of dialogue, I just shake my head every single time. So that is number 5.
Was I a dead fuck?
Number 4 is going to be from I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, and this is a movie, upon recent rewatch, where I actually think it might be so bad it's good, because it's an easily watchable film, but it is plagued by so many problems that I just shake my head at it, and I actually do put it in that category now. But one of the worst moments in this movie that is so bad it's good, I gotta talk about it, is when the killer is revealed. Now, if you don't want to know what the killer is, I'm sure you've all seen this 20-odd-year-old movie. Please fast forward to the next one. But this is where the killer is revealed to be the Ben Willis's son from the first movie. And he has named himself Will Benson, and he's been getting in with Jennifer Love Hewitt's character and, you know, incorporating himself with that group of friends. And when it is finally revealed that he is helping his dad kill these people on this island, he turns around and says to Jennifer Love Hewitt, isn't it obvious? Will Benson? Ben's son. Fuck. That is like so stupid. Like, if you are trying to disguise yourself as a killer, why are you giving her the smallest little inkling that she might be able to figure that out? But it's just such a stupid horror movie cliche that he called himself that. The whole thing about these killers getting all these people on this island and paying thousands of pounds for them to go there when they can just kill them in the whole time is bad enough. But him to basically try and have his name as Ben's son there just for this stupid little line of dialogue, it's just ridiculous. And I hate that character in that movie as well. He is such a loser who's just trying to get into Jennifer Love Hewitt's pants all the way through it, and she's just having none of it. But when he says this line, I cringe every single time. So it's one of the worst, if not the worst, killer reveals I've ever seen in a movie. So that is from I Still Know What You Did Last Summer.
You get it? Will Benson? Ben's son.
Number 3 is going to be from Sleepaway Camp, and this is the camp paedophile, the chef, who is watching all of the young kids run into the camp, and he openly admits that he likes children by talking to his colleagues, and he says, look at all that young, fine chicken. Makes your mouth water, don't it? It's like, oh my God, the guy's a paedophile. And like, even his friends, the camp counselors and the people who work at the camp are laughing along with him going, I know what's going through your mind. It's like, Sleepaway Camp is a beautiful disaster. It wouldn't work so well if all this terrible stuff didn't happen in the movie. It's kind of like Troll 2, where it's so bad it's good, although it's a better movie than Troll 2. Yeah, but I just hate this camp pedophile. His voice, his lines of dialogue here are just horrible. He tries to abuse kids at one point. I think it's Angela he tries to abuse at one point, but he does get a very well-deserved death by getting dunked in this boiling frying pan. So, yeah, a horrible character with a horrible squirmful line of dialogue there.
Look at all that young, fresh chicken. Where I come from, we call them baldies. Makes your mouth water, don't it?
Number 2 is going to be Alexandra Daddario's character from Texas Chainsaw or Texas Chainsaw 3D. You all know the line I'm about to talk about. It's one of the most infamous, terrible horror movie quotes of all time. But I just want to say why she says this. Now, she is going along for the ride with her friends and she runs into Leatherface. And Leatherface kills all her friends, basically. She's the only one who's really surviving left, trying to get away from Leatherface. And then she learns that this town was actually bad to Leatherface. It's not his fault that he turned into this horrible killing machine cannibal. He was hard done by the town, and all the town bullied him. And she then finds out that she is actually related to Leatherface. And that suddenly changes her mind that she actually likes this Leatherface character now, even though he's murdered all of her friends. And there's one moment where she's starting to turn a little bit, where she's in a police car, the back of a police car. I think she bangs on the rail and the police officer sort of jumps out of his seat there and she goes, "I'm a Sawyer." And that line of dialogue was bad enough. But later on, Leatherface is kind of getting the shit kicked out of him. And she picks up his chainsaw, throws it to Leatherface, bearing in mind, like I just said, that he's killed all of her friends. Throws the chainsaw to Leatherface. And she's obviously found out that Leatherface is her cousin. Throws it to him and says, "Do you think, cuz?" I believe the actress didn't even want to say this line of dialogue. She was saying to the director, "Are you sure about this?" And he was like, "Yeah, go ahead, say it." She even knew it was a terrible line to say, but the way she says it as well, oh my God. That's a bad movie. It's not one of the best Texas Chainsaw Massacre films, but this line of dialogue is awful. But there's one that is even worse. So that is number 2.
Do your thing, cuz.
Number 1, though, is going to be from my favourite horror movie villain of all time, in Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare. Now, there was a few Freddy lines I was thinking of that I could have been in here. One, especially from part 5, "It's a boy," which everyone hates. I know my friend Nigel absolutely hates that line. But there was one worse one, and it is in Freddy's Dead. Now, this is a terrible movie. It's just such an insult to Freddy himself. They make him like a joke in this movie, like a cartoon character. I don't like this film whatsoever. Apart from the song at the end credits, this movie is pretty much terrible to me. But at the start of this movie, like, I remember I was getting into Freddy as a kid. My mum had just let me start watching him after years of begging. I'd seen part 3, 2, 1. You know, I kind of went backwards there. I watched the third one first. And then I was renting all parts 4 and 5 out the video shop and everything. And then I seen Freddy's Dead in the middle of my HMV shop on VHS. And I went, "Oh, I haven't seen this one. I'm going to grab it." So my granddad, I remember, bought it for me. We went home, watched it, and I put it on. And I was like, "Oh, so excited to see a Freddy film that I haven't seen here." And within 5 minutes, Freddy was... There's like a tornado going on and the house is flying through this tornado, and Freddy turns up like the Wicked Witch of the West on a broomstick and says, "I'll get you, my pretty, and your little soul too." And then just does this stupid laugh. And I was thinking, oh my God, what are we doing here? It's like, this is just not even scary. This is just silly now. Even at a kid who was like 10, 11 years old. And then the movie did not pick up from there. I knew I was in for a rough ride once I heard that line. Yeah, Freddy is... I can't believe Robert Englund agreed to do these lines of dialogue. Like, there's so many bad ones in this movie, like great graphics, but this one for me has to be the worst horror movie line in history. Not just because it's in a bad movie, but it's just turned Freddy into an absolute joke. So yeah, my number one is I'll Get You My Pretty and Your Little Soul Too from Freddy's Dead.
I'll get you, my pretty, and your little soul too.
Okay guys, I hope you all enjoyed this video. This was such a fun time to think of these movies and lines of dialogue and actually do it in this video. I've had a great laugh doing this on my own here in my little movie room. But what are your worst lines of dialogue? Please do let me know in the comments down below. If I come up with another 10, I might do a sequel video to this. Don't forget to check out my 10 best lines of dialogue. And please give this video a like and subscribe to this channel. If you like horror, it would really help me out. So thanks so much, guys. You take care, and I'll see you all next video.